Justice Department is expected to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell today. The Justice Department is expected to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell today, according to two sources familiar with the matter. Attorney General Pam Bondi announced earlier this week that Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche planned to meet with Maxwell, who was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison after being convicted in 2021 of sex trafficking for her role in recruiting and grooming teenage girls for sexual abuse by Epstein. President Trump has told us to release all credible evidence, Blanche said earlier this week in a statement posted by Bondi. If Ghislaine Maxwell has information about anyone who has committed crimes against victims, the FBI and the DOJ will hear what she has to say. A federal appeals court yesterday upheld a lower court injunction that blocked an effort by Trump to restrict birthright citizenship from going into effect. The ruling by the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals comes roughly a month after the Supreme Court curbed a district court injunction preventing Trump's policy from going into effect and asked lower courts to reconsider the scope of the injunction to ensure it was not too broad. The appellate court, in a 48-page decision, determined it was not. The district court correctly concluded that the executive order's proposed interpretation, denying citizenship to many persons born in the United States, is unconstitutional. We fully agree, the court wrote. Appeals court upholds nationwide block on Trump's birthright citizenship order, continued. Trump signed an executive order in January that guaranteed birthright citizenship only to infants who have at least one parent who is a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. The order amounted to an effort to redefine the 14th Amendment, which has widely been interpreted as conferring citizenship to any person born in the United States. We conclude that the executive order is invalid because it contradicts the plain language of the 14th Amendment's grant of citizenship to all persons born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, it wrote. A day after Trump signed the executive order on birthright citizenship, a group of Democratic attorneys general, resulting in the initial district court injunction. The appellate court, noting that the Supreme Court did not rule on the merits of the case in its June decision, said the Democratic states would most likely succeed in proving Trump's order is unconstitutional, framing that consideration as the core of its decision to uphold the nationwide block on the order. Because state plaintiffs have standing and are likely to succeed in demonstrating that the executive order is unconstitutional, we affirm the district court's grant of a preliminary injunction and its determination that a universal preliminary injunction is necessary to give the states complete relief on their claims, the ruling read. Trump will visit the headquarters of the Federal Reserve today, according to a copy of his schedule released by the White House. He will visit as two top aides, Deputy Chief of Staff James Blair and Federal Housing Finance Agency Director William Pulte, said they planned a tour of the building's renovation. The renovation has become the source of controversy among Republicans and top officials in the Trump administration who have been relentlessly attacking Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell over the cost of the renovation, which they have called ostentatious and a palace. Many on Wall Street have seen that attacks as a potential way to fire Powell for cause, which is the only way a president can legally remove a Fed official. Powell and the central bank have repeatedly said the cost is due in part to asbestos in the building, toxic soil below the site and an increase in raw materials.